How are things?
Everyone awaits the battle. Some pray, others drink. Zoltan and Yarpan are chasing peasants around the square. They need a bit of drilling. Iorveth's warriors are trying to be inconspicuous, and so they should. I'd feel better if they crawled up the devil's arse and disappeared. But Saskia thinks we don't stand a chance without them.
How long have you been alderman?
My predecessor was killed 3 years ago. I was one of his advisors. I knew my way round the circus. So, I volunteered to manage things. No one opposed me. Mostly I deal with trade and taxes, and I organize assorted matters. In the end, everyone listens to Saskia, exclusively. Me included.
This must be the first revolt ever to be taxed.
We can't feed ourselves nor fortify our walls with rebel slogans alone. But rest easy. Stennis and the nobles won't get a single oren from us. Though, of course, the prince is just waiting for the right moment to get his grubby hands on our finances.
I'm sure his motivations are pure, and he'll do it exclusively out of regard for his subjects. Saskia needs help, Cecil. Philippa can produce an antidote, but she needs a magic artifact to do that.
Would you like a fern and a dancing worm to go with it? Listen, I don't know about magic, but there is a place, as long as I can remember, it's been of interest to sorcerers. They say it's a very strong intersection. Look for magic there.
Where exactly is there?
Seek out the ruins in the forest beyond Vergen. There's a place of power there. You can't miss it. Why so glum? Saskia's a tough girl. She'll bounce back. Keep your head up.
Thanks, Cecil.
No, Witcher. I thank you. Save that lass, and you'll save my town.
We killed most of the necrophages.
Most?
The passage to the lower level collapsed. They won't get out. In time, they'll die off and you can restart work.
Thank you, Witcher. The whole of Vergen thanks you. Here's your coin. Shive, Skaggs, and Zigrim will get the same.
I'd like to play dice.
Shall we? I'll have to raise taxes. Here are your winnings.
Aren't you gonna ask for a rematch?
You're too good. Try Haggard or Smith's apprentice.
Cecil, do you know anyone who fought in the war 3 years ago?
I did.
Did you fight here at Vergen?
Course.
Philippa claims you know a bit about the battle.
That old cook insult, called king by some, thought that Aedirnians were bumpkins who'd ship bricks as soon as his troops crossed the river.
Why did he attack Edirn?
According to Henselt, Upper Edirn is the ancient legacy of the Kedweni crown and must be returned to the mother country. Brazen farter.
That brazen farter had a point. If you read some history, you'll know that 300 years ago this land belonged to Kedwen.
Load of crab. 700 years ago the elves reigned here, and 1,000,000 years ago these lands were the domain of the worms. If things worked that way, every king could invade a neighboring land and claim his right to do so because an ancestor took a dump there.
All right. Hensel wanted to conquer Upper Edirn. What then?
He rolled in, got hammered, and rolled out.
Cecil, that doesn't help me much.
It wasn't a battle. It was a slaughter. If I try speaking of it, I'll see it all again. I don't want...
The ghosts of the fallen fight in the mist. They turn into horrible creatures called Draugrs. Eternians, Kedweni, men, elves, and dwarves too.
Bloody hell. No peace even after death.
I want to help them, but I need to know more about the battle.
Very well. Listen, a beautiful day that grew hot later. Very hot. When Vandegrift attacked in the afternoon, he sent a dun banner at the fore. Many of our lads shit themselves at the mere sight of their standard, but we had a surprise of our own. Under the cover of night, we prepared fire pits. Our archers lit them up at the right moment. I still can't believe we managed to fool their scouts. If it wasn't for that ambush, we wouldn't be speaking today. They likely wouldn't be in Upper Edirn at all. We decimated the dun banner, but that was only the beginning. Seltkirk was our commander. Everywhere he appeared, the Kedwenis gave ground. He wreaked havoc among them. Hearts rose at the mere sight of his armour. Then Vandegrift himself entered the fray. Seltkirk met him in the middle of the field. In the end, Vandegrift killed Seltkirk. A terrible death that sent the Edirnian ranks into disarray. I thought it was the end of us. Then the sky fell, as if the stars themselves had decided to avenge the death of a great knight. Fire covered the battlefield. Nobody sought the enemy. They were all looking for somewhere to flee. Yes, there were no more friends and enemies, only the living and the dead. They say it was the doing of a Kidweni sorceress who wanted revenge on Vandegrift. Could be true, as Henselt had her executed right after the battle.
You saw the Kedwenis cross the river?
From afar, I saw Vandegrift leading 4,000 heavily armed men. Many a heart sank when we saw the elite bearheads or the armoured banners from Ardcarrig. The Dun banner was in the middle, veterans of Brenna. As soon as he set foot on Edirnian land, Vandegrift climbed a hill and surveyed the area, as if it was his fief. Son of a bitch was as sure of himself as ever. Upon spying him, I remember the dwarves all dropped their trousers and showed him their asses. Then Seltkirk stepped out in front of us. His white armour shone in the sun. We were afraid a Kedweni arbalist would shoot him, but they too stood as if frozen, and Seltkirk just looked at them and bowed ever so slightly.
Remember anything from before the battle?
As if it was yesterday. Henselt's troops crossed the Pontar the third day after the autumn equinox. Edirn had good spies, so we were ready for them, and Seltkirk lined up our troops along the hills. Our hearts rose at the sight of the banners of Vengerberg, Aldersberg and Gullet fluttering in the wind. Knights and armoured infantry side by side in our ranks. Even the peasants had their regiments. The dwarves were on the left flank. Over 5,000 strong we were. Nobody caring about race or background, like never before. Only King Demavend was missing, but he must have had more important business than defending his country.
Did you see the duel between Seltkirk and Vandegrift?
I stood half a furlong from them. Never seen a fight like it. Probably never will again. They'd already met once, at a jousting tournament in Ardcarrig. Seltkirk won there. He beat on the visitor so hard he broke his sword. Seltkirk was a true knight, the last of his breed. Vandegrift was so pissed off after that tournament he hanged the smith who made his sword and ordered a special one from a sorcerer. I bet he cut down Seltkirk with that new sword.
Vandegrift is dead. What happened to his sword?
Saskia's got it. Good thing too. Only her hand can tame the hatred enchanted in that sword. After the battle, when the flames abated, the scavengers came. They stole everything. Imagine, not a single keepsake of Seltkirk in the whole of Edirn. His brother babbled something about a gauntlet, but he's a lying dog.
You captured the Dunbanner standard?
Henselt's choice troops, and not a one survived. The visitor sent them to their deaths. Refused to give them reinforcements. He was a monster in human form. The men of the Dun were real swaggerers. Killed a lot of our lads, but for every dunner, there were 7 Adarnians. They had no chance. Aye, we captured their standard. We buried what was left of them in the crypts beyond Vergen. Their standard lies with them. Worthy foes are to be respected, even in death.
I'm going to need that standard. Thanks, Cecil, that was helpful. I think I know what I need to lift the curse now.
Madame Eilhart claims you need 4 symbols. The standard symbolizes death. Vandegrift's sword stands for hatred. What about the other 2?
I have a feeling Philippa has a handle on the rest.
Here's hoping you're right. See you, Governor.
So, you thought it over? I'm on my way to the recruit. What's to consider? Iorveth.
I wouldn't mind a closer look at your swords. Care to browse through my wares?
I'd like to play dice.
Shall we play now? You must be an old hand at this. The prize money is yours.
I'd like something besides coin. You're a blacksmith's apprentice. Got anything interesting?
I suppose I might. What do you fancy?
Got any meteorite steel?
Aye. 3 colors. Blue, yellow, and red.
It's meteorite steel, not bloomers or garter belts.
Meteorite steel comes in several varieties depending on the nature of the element it's saturated with and the depth of that saturation. The elements dye the ore different colors. For instance, fire dyes the ore red, and red meteorite, well, you work it differently. You heat and hammer form it differently. You understand now?
Mm-hmm. Sure you're just the blacksmith's helper?
Want anything, or are you just going to stand there and wonder?
I'll take my coin, please.
What's this? Clad in hues of green.
Aboard Scoia'tael waiting in ambush?
Greetings.
My pentacles intrigue you?
Indeed. I'd like to see them up close.
Let's start with introductions then. I'm Felicia Corey, and you're Geralt of Rivia. Why the surprised face? I heard about you in school. Whether you like it or not, you're a hero of contemporary history and of the love stories we read beneath our blankets.
You studied at Aretusa?
Yes, though I'm still to finish my potion and fetish internship, which is why I'm here.
And you're doing it under Philippa Eilhart's watchful eye. Any way I can help you?
Help from a hero of our readings? Now that's drawing on sources for real. I'd be grateful. The locals are reluctant to buy magic items, and I really need to pass.
Let's see what I can do.
Dwarf Witcher. That would be something.
Greetings!
Rotten times. You associate with sorceresses?
You repair armor, right?
Right,
You work just for your elves?
not just.
You don't say much, do you?
And they said you're grumpy.
So it's really haunted now. Thought we had a basilisk in the basement. Turns out it was just my wife getting cold.
At your service. Greetings! Oh, Witcher, I'm glad I found you. I've got something for you.
We know each other?
So surprised by a stranger bearing gifts. Ah, you humans, egotistical barbarians you are. I was in Flotsam when the massacre started. Just accept it. I won't take no for an answer.
Thanks.
Oh, another traveller. From where? Wait, let me guess.
From Temeria.
Had it at the tip of my tongue. So, what brings you to Vergen? Wait, I know.
Business.
Just what I thought. And you're...
A witcher.
Well, well. We don't often see witches here. What do witches do anyway?
We solve problems.
Oh, I have a problem with my boyfriend.
Did you find his entrails strewn on the porch and his head a few paces away? Because those are the kind of problems I solve.
How do you see it? Do the gods favour Lady Saskia, as she claims?
The gods never favour rebellions that seek to topple the natural order of things.
Admitted. You'd rather not see a woman at the head of an army. Especially when sorceresses surround her.
Even a child knows that sorceresses
Help!
are deceitful and lecherous.
Leave them be, Father. If they're willing to fight for us, let them. I see no need to pink-beat their covers.
So you wish to tell me the sorceresses stand to gain nothing from this? Ha! It would be the first time in history, and I simply don't believe it.
Saskia believes them.
They've bewitched her!
Saskia the pious? Black magic don't cling to her.
I think we best change the subject before things get out of hand.